You take a photo of a great colorful sunset or sunrise and you're really excited about it, only to discover at home in front of your screen that the sky is full of color casts and colors like blue, magenta, yellow and red are all over the place. Perhaps this has already happened to you, and happened to me anyway. And in this quick tip I would like to show you how I use color grading in Photoshop to quickly remove color casts and restore my colors. So this is the image that I took in the Trecim in the Dolomites, which you might know. It's a pretty well-known place among photographers. And that night we had really great conditions. You can see all the low clouds rolling in, and we had this comet that I didn't know of. I'm not much of an astrophotographer, so that was quite some extra. Thanks a lot, Comet, for being there. But you can also see that the colors are all over the place. You have magenta, a magenta cast here, you have some greenish brown colors here, yellow here, some red over here. So they are pretty much all over the place. Let's rebuild them from scratch. But first things first, I'm going to the develop module and do some basics. As a color profile, I'm choosing Adobe Landscape, because this is a little bit more saturated, but as you can see it's also darker. So I'm going to lift the shadows. This is a nighttime image and I still want it to be dark. I want it to look realistic, but it needs to look like night. I'm also going to lift some blacks. Right now you can see the underexposure is gone and we can practically see all details. Maybe just a little bit more, like this. Great. Okay, let's see what changing the color temperature does. I want a nice balance of cooler and warmer tones, so maybe like this. About the hue, I don't want to introduce more greenish tones because I find them terrible. So maybe like it was 35. Okay, what else? Chromatic aberrations. This is a standard for me. I'm not going to check profile corrections because I want to keep the natural vignetting. Okay, and this should be it. So let's rebuild our colors from scratch. I'm going to do this in Photoshop because it gives us much more flexibility. Okay, we're in Photoshop now, and the first thing that I'm going to do is make a copy of our background layer so that we can work non-destructively. So please remember, we are not going to edit the whole image, but just the sky. So I'll be selecting the sky right now. Well, this selection is not good. Let's do some corrections. So let's open up the raw module, and the first thing that I'm going to do is take out the old color. So let's desaturate at around 60, I think that's good. So with this desaturated sky selection, let's go into our camera raw module again, go to color grading, and now let's try some nice night sky blue, like this, pressing Shift to lock the color. Maybe like this. Okay. I'm going to deselect the sky now, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. So for the highlights, let's do another copy. I want my highlights to bleed into this region here, so I'm not going to do another sky selection for the highlights. Let's open up the raw module. I'm looking for some nice sunset colors, maybe in the orange area, a little bit more red, like this. Maybe we also have to try some midtones. You can see that the effect is pretty strong, so we really have to be careful here. A bit like this, but I'm going to roll it back to this point. Press OK. So now you can see that we have colored pretty much everything, including the stars. But of course, I only want to apply the effect in my horizon and maybe a little bit here. So what we'll do is create a mask. Then invert it to a black mask so that we have hidden everything. Let's now reveal our horizon. So I'm going to take a white brush. And I'm going to be very carefully because of the transition to the blue sky. So I'll do like 100% here. And then take it back gradually. Let's say 60% here. I'm going to feather my mask a little bit more. Like this. And maybe even less here. Maybe I'm going to take it back a little bit at this place where the Milky Way meets some cloud. So I'm going to switch to black. And take it back very carefully. This looks quite good to me. So let's make a group and control what we've done. This is the original. This is our result. Original and new sky. I think it looks much tidier and cleaner. This is one of the images from the series that I processed with color grading. I submitted the image to the Chromatic Awards and was very pleased to come in second place. Thanks for watching. I hope you can take something away from it. And if you liked my video, please leave me a thumbs up. See you soon.